Hello, this is Reverend Ore Jacques Patlian bringing you the perennial philosophy of religious science, or some call it the science of mind, after the seminal book written by Dr. Ernest Holmes entitled The Science of Mind. Today, let's talk about It's All in Your Mind. I want you to picture yourself lying on a psychiatrist's couch while you attempt to describe your problems and emotional issues to your therapist. After you finish this 50-minute hour with the doctor, he or she looks at you and tells you that all your problems are really just in your mind. He or she is absolutely right. You may say, well, I paid $225 to learn that. Well, yes, $225 later, you may feel a bit better for having shared your feelings as some cathartic healing in doing that, but the solution still lies with you. You have to do the work to change you. It's all in your mind. Of course it is. Your entire life is in your mind. Your whole existence is in your mind. Your body is just the mobile device to transport your mind. It also provides sensory input for your mind to use. You are your mind. This is obvious to some, but many more of us really believe that the body is who and what we are. We identify ourselves with our body because we look at it in the mirror and it sends us pictures and sound and touch from the outside world. Even more of us confuse the brain with the mind. Most people do. They are most certainly not the same. The brain is an organ of the body, rather like the heart or the liver, an electrochemical organic processor and bodily interface for the mind. You'd be interested to know it's made mostly of fat. That's true. So we call somebody a fathead, telling the truth. So where is the mind? Science currently is operating on the theory that it exists in every cell of our body. In other words, the mind is the sum of our parts. All of us put together is the mind. Now, we don't know this for a fact. That's still a theory and it's unproven. Metaphysics and theology tend to see the mind like an aura or a magnetic field around the body, like a halo that we wear all the time, that 90% of the people cannot see, but there are people who can see your aura and they will react to it. Almost everybody can feel the energy of that aura, though. You know, when you walk up to somebody and you say, I just didn't like him the minute I walked up to him, that's what you're feeling. Or I was attracted to this person immediately. That's the same thing. You either like that energy or you don't. Now, this is what cerulean photography captures when auras are photographed. That's a type of camera that picks up energetic waves rather than light waves. If you ever have a chance to get your aura photographed, please take it because it'll really be fascinating. If you haven't seen your aura yet, or if you don't know you have one, you're in for quite a treat. You'll be amazed at what you can learn about yourself by understanding the energy that you're projecting at any given moment. And it does change as your mood changes. And it's really done through the electromagnetic field that we have around us all the time. Every human projects this energy every second of their lives. Now, I believe this is the shadow of the human mind. This is evidence of our mind. It's bigger than we are. We may live within our mind. Our mind may not live within us. Wouldn't that be interesting? The mind, to me, is the divine spark, the divinity within each human. It is that part that knows that it knows. It is the self-aware part of the human experience. It is the imagination, which is unique to humanity. At least we think it is. There's some awfully bright animals out there that we in the animal kingdom. And of course, we're in the animal kingdom too, because we're not minerals or vegetables, are we? But there are animals out there that can do things we could never believe. Dolphins, for instance, and orcas, and anybody in the dolphin family. Many whales. They can do things that we never believed They even have a language, a fully developed language, we're finding out. But what they don't have is an imagination, because they're still trapped in their environment and they still eat what they eat, and they can't go eat cattle or eat vegetables, and they can't walk on land. That's the difference. Our imagination allows us to do wonderful things. It allows us to escape the bonds of our environment, the shackles of precedent, custom, or the way it's always been. If we can see it in our mind's eye, we can create it in form. All thanks to our imagination. Imagination is probably our greatest gift from the Creator. Imagination is that part of us that can take a mental trip to stars and galaxies never before seen by humankind. It's that part of the builder, the architect, that sees the Empire State Building or the Golden Gate Bridge or the 106-story Library Tower in Los Angeles long before the first hammer rang or the first girder was welded into place. It is that part of us that sees a world where character, not appearance, is the sole measure of a human. Imagination is the part of us that sees every child in the world safe, loved, going to school, and not one child is hungry, and all humanity are safe and happy. Without the fears, ideas, dreams, plans that are all in our mind, nothing ever comes into form in the real world of stuff and things. That seems to be the part of the world that we concentrate most on, is stuff and things, isn't it? But the real world is the world of ideas, of imagination, of thought. That's the real world. Not one thing was ever created in the cosmos or on Earth without first appearing in some sentient being's mind. Either God, when we're talking about the cosmos, or humanity here on Earth. In truth, all human life takes place in the mind, aided by the organic computer that we call the brain. That's exactly what the brain is. It's an organic computer that we play like a piano to make music of our life. Your therapist was right. It's all in your mind, but that doesn't mean that it isn't real. There's nothing more real than what's in your mind. Your thoughts and emotions are the very building blocks of your life. In truth, you are your mind. When we in religious science say that your mind is the mind of God, your love is the love of God, your life is the life of God, this is what we mean. We are all expressions of God, physical expressions of the divine mind, the great soul, the first cause, the great I am that we call God. We're part and parcel of the divine mind, the universal intelligence that we call God, and each one of us are truly one with that Godhead. If you can believe it, if you can conceive it, and you can see it as already done before it appears in form, you can experience it. I think the toughest part is believing it when you can't see it. You got to believe it before you can see it. Wayne Dyer's great book. I hope he's having a wonderful experience in his next experience. He just left us, and what a sad thing for all of us here. Until we're together again, walk in light and love each and every day. This is Reverend Dore Jacques Patlian in Sarasota, Florida, saying, until we meet again, God bless and keep you, and be happy and joyous and prosperous. Bye-bye for now.